Hello and welcome on Danny's Garage. Today we're going to have a very special review because we're going to have a look at the first three Vostok Amphibian in history. So on your channel I have already presented the first generation of the Vostok Amphibia, this one, from 1967. Then I have already presented this one. I will put both links into description. So the second generation of 79, and this is the third generation that will be on the channel also shortly after this video. So the goal is not to have an in-depth review, but more to discuss about the difference and the similarities of these watchers and where they stand in history. Let's have a look first on this first generation because it has a very special history in Soviet dive watch, and also it's not a common design, especially if you compare with the European dive watch at the time. For example, like the Blancpain 50 Phantom from 1953 or the 1954 Rolex Submariner. As the Soviets were looking to make a modern dive watch, they didn't have access to Swiss pattern and they didn't want to pay for them. So they invented a completely different way to waterproof the case. Actually, the way that the back is waterproof was first launched not on the Vostok Amphibia but on the 1965 Vostok Commandersky. If you look at the back, it's the same two pieces case. So you have the back case and you have this ring that is pushing on a flat round silicone or plastic gasket inside. Actually, they just improved this early conception and made it really waterproof on this first generation of amphibia. Like for the three other amphibia, first three other amphibia, this one had two versions. This one, which is a civilian version, which is rated 200 meters, but there were also military version which was rated 300 meters. The difference between two was a thicker crystal and a thicker case back to withdraw to the increased pressure at 300 meters. The production of this first generation amphibia went from 1967 to 1979, and this one is probably one that has been produced in the last year in 79. So basically the same year that the second generation was launched. And actually why it has these very specific lugs is that the machinery to build the case were not able to do traditional lugs like on this third version. So they had to come with a different design, so a simple round case, and they have added these lugs on the side. So in 79 they launched this new generation. It has the same movement as this first generation. It's an in-house movement. I will put the reference down on the screen. And actually you can see that the crown is the same type of crown on the two models. So they took the crown, they took the movement, but this cushion case design is really from the 70s, and we can see that they had improved machinery to be able to integrate the lugs inside the case. Also, if you look at the hands, the second hand is still a lollipop hand. They are still red. Well, now the red has faded, but they were still red at a point of time. The hour and minute hands are now different. So on this first generation, the hands are the same than on the Kommandierski. And then they change with this paddle hands in the second generation. And then later on, during the production, they move to more standard hands like on this third generation. This second generation had also two versions, the civilian one rated 200 meters and a military one rated 300 meters with the same concept, a thicker crystal and a thicker case back. For the third generation that appear during the 80s, the late 80s, it's the same concept. It was actually the last Vostok Amphibia to have a military and civilian version. So same concept. This one is rated 200 meters and the military one is rated 300 meters. We can see now that the casing is more traditional, but the way the waterproof is given to the case is still the same one, with a two-piece case back and the flat gasket inside, where this back is pushing on the gasket, and more there is pressure, more this is pushing on the gasket. Besides the different shape of the case, which was more modern, so more from the 80s, 90s, this model introduced also new features. So there is a new movement inside. Also, we can see that the crown now is flat, not rounded like on the other models. And it's also anti-magnetic, which is another improvement for the previous generations. Still rated 200 meters, which is more than enough for 99.9% of the people that usually wear this kind of watch. We can see that it still features the lollipop hand. This one, fortunately, is still red, and the hand now are more traditional arrow hand. On the two previous generations, there were very little variation of dials, whereas on this third generation already there were much more choice. So this is the so-called sniper dial, which is my favorite. And after this third generation, there were many amphibians model with many type of case and many type of dial. So I would say that these three amphibia are really the beginning of the amphibia collection, which is still in sale today with many variations. Same 200 meters rating and same way to give waterproof to the case with the special back and the screw down crown. So please tell me which one of the three amphibia is your favorite, and if you enjoy the content of the video, please put a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any new reviews.